Listen, I want to just take a moment. Let's think about the fact that in Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 2, speaking of the earthly priesthood, that they had the ability to deal gently. Now, the word in the Greek is what we call a hapax logomena, meaning it's only used once in the New Testament. It speaks of this ability to identify, be gentle, because you yourself have common weaknesses. And we all know that the priesthood, they were human beings. Many of the things that they were offering in terms of the sin of the people of Israel, they themselves had either thought or done. So there was a commonality that they shared. Um, when we think of Jesus, we realize that quite the opposite. The Word of God speaks of him in 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 1 of being gentle. And that word really has a very unique nuance to it. It actually speaks of the fact that it's this quality, it's as defined, of making allowance despite of the facts. It suggests reason for a different reaction. In other words, you could have done something and you deserve a certain outcome, and Jesus dealt gently with that person. Now, I want you to understand that Christ being perfect, he obviously could have demanded perfection from all the people, everyone that came to him. He could have judged everything. He had the right to judge. He certainly, being a perfect human being in 2 Corinthians 5:21 without sin, he could have done that. But Jesus viewed everything through his own sacrifice. He was a revelation of God's plan of grace. He understood that he would be the means by which mankind would be forgiven. Now, kind of compare it to this. Now, we all have, what's fun about having grandkids is to see some of the incredibly unique things they do. And we could come off as if we've never done that, nor thought that, nor said that. I have a young grandson, 4-year-old Hyler, that has this incredible ability to just blurt out some of the most interesting comments. I won't go into them, but they're comments that you don't necessarily want to hear, and that makes you wonder, where did they hear? Where did he get that? Well, being in a household of 7 other individuals, I'm sure that there are times when things just kind of blurt out. So you could be incredibly judgmental. You could differentiate yourself from that situation, become incredibly harsh, or you can, I think, be like Christ. We have the capacity to do both. We can understand the reality of a wrong that's been done or said, but at the same time, we can be merciful. And the reason is that we ourselves are similar. At least, if not now, we have been. And certainly, given the right circumstance, we would be. We're similar. And therefore, mercy is attached to our relationship to humanity. I honestly believe this is what separates Christianity from the rest of the world. And if this is lacking, my honest opinion is we have no testimony. It's not that we can't decide what is right and what is wrong. We know this. And it's not that we have to just apathetically go along and let people be and do whatever or say whatever they want to. But the point is, are we merciful with this person? Does the cross of Jesus Christ have any value for that individual, even though they may not accept it? Just as we were prior to our salvation. I think the Word of God says in Romans chapter 5 and verse 8 and on that we were all enemies of God. It kind of changes the way we see people. Now, there's a lot of animosity going on these days, a lot of hateful things being said. I don't know that just arguing a better argument is going to change this. I do believe a merciful argument may, meaning that you speak the truth, but you speak it in love. It may change it. Everyone knows at some point they say the worm turns. And what you do to another person, or what you say, or how you think of them, or the way you treat them, it's going to come back on you someday. And when it does, it's not a pretty thing. We all know that in the back of our mind. Some of us have lived through that. And if we have, and we've come to know the mercy of God, we'd never want to go through that again. That's what separates a Christian from the rest of this world, no matter how appealing the argument is. This is what separates us from them. Till next time, friends, God bless you.